Question 1. Coverage types. Which of the following statements best describes the coverage provided under a standard HO3 homeowners policy? A. It provides coverage for personal property only if the item is listed in the declarations. B. It covers the dwelling and personal property on an all-risk basis, but excludes certain types of property such as jewelry and artwork. C. It offers liability coverage that includes both bodily injury and property damage occurring on the insured property. D. It only covers losses caused by named perils, such as fire, theft, and vandalism. Answer B. It covers the dwelling and personal property on an all-risk basis, but excludes certain types of property such as jewelry and artwork. Explanation. An HO3 policy is one of the most commonly used homeowners insurance forms and is often referred to as a special form policy. It provides comprehensive coverage for the dwelling on an all-risk basis, meaning it covers all perils except those specifically excluded in the policy, such as flood, earthquake, and wear and tear. While it does cover personal property, it includes certain limitations on high-value items like jewelry and artwork, which may require additional endorsements for full coverage. Options A and D incorrectly describe the nature of coverage, while option C is a partial truth but not comprehensive enough regarding the all-risk nature of the policy. Question 2. Scenario-based question. Mr. Thompson recently purchased a new home in Rhode Island and is considering the various types of coverage options. He wants to ensure he has adequate protection for his property, especially since he has a collection of valuable artwork. What coverage should Mr. Thompson consider adding to his standard HO3 policy to ensure his artwork is adequately protected? A. Personal property coverage limit increase. B. Scheduled personal property endorsement. C. Loss of use coverage. D. Liability coverage extension. Answer B. Scheduled personal property endorsement. Explanation. In Mr. Thompson's case, a scheduled personal property endorsement is the best option to ensure that his valuable artwork is adequately protected. This endorsement allows the policyholder to schedule specific high-value items for coverage, often providing broader protection than standard personal property coverage. The other options do not specifically address the coverage needs for valuable items. A increases the coverage limit but may not provide comprehensive protection. C is related to additional living expenses rather than personal property. And D extends liability coverage but does not protect personal property. Question 3. Policy exclusions and limitations. Which of the following scenarios illustrates a common exclusion in homeowners insurance policies regarding personal property? A. The tree falls on the house during a storm, causing damage to the structure and the personal belongings inside. B. A flood from a nearby river inundates the property, damaging the basement and personal property stored there. C. The fire occurs in the kitchen due to a malfunctioning stove, resulting in smoke damage to the walls and furniture. D. The guest trips and falls on the driveway, injuring themselves while visiting the insured's home. Answer B. A flood from a nearby river inundates the property, damaging the basement and personal property stored there. Explanation. Homeowners insurance policies typically exclude coverage for flood damage unless a separate flood insurance policy is purchased. This is a significant exclusion because flooding is a common peril that can result in substantial damage. In contrast, options A and C represent covered perils under standard homeowners policies as they involve sudden and accidental damage to the structure and personal property. Option D involves liability coverage, which would be applicable under the policy but does not pertain to property damage exclusions. Question 4. Theoretical knowledge. What principle of insurance ensures that an insured party does not profit from a loss and only receives compensation for the actual financial loss incurred? A. Indemnity. B. Subrogation. C. Insurable interest. D. Risk management. Answer A. Indemnity. Explanation. The principle of indemnity is fundamental in insurance, ensuring that an insured does not profit from a loss, but is instead restored to their financial position prior to the loss. This prevents moral hazard, where individuals might engage in risky behavior if they believe they can profit from a claim. Subrogation B allows insurers to pursue a third party for damages after paying a claim. Insurable interest. C requires the policyholder to have a legitimate interest in the property insured. And risk management. D involves identifying, assessing, and prioritizing risks rather than compensating for losses. Question 5. Coverage types. Which of the following statements regarding loss of use coverage in a homeowner's policy is accurate? A. It covers the cost of temporary housing only if the dwelling is completely destroyed. B. It provides coverage for lost rental income if the insured property is rented out. C. It includes coverage for additional living expenses incurred while the insured property is uninhabitable due to a covered loss. D. It automatically extends to all personal property stored off-site. Answer: C. It includes coverage for additional living expenses incurred while the insured property is uninhabitable due to a covered loss. Explanation: loss of use coverage, also known as additional living expenses (L), is designed to cover the costs incurred by the insured when their home becomes uninhabitable due to a covered loss, such as fire or water damage. This may include temporary housing costs, meals, and other necessary expenses. Option A is incorrect because coverage applies not just to total loss but also to situations where the home is partially uninhabitable. Option B pertains to rental property coverage but is not the primary purpose of loss of use coverage, while option D does not accurately reflect the limitations of off-site personal property coverage. Question 6. Regulatory environment. Under Rhode Island insurance laws, which of the following is a requirement for insurance agents selling homeowners insurance? A. They must provide a detailed comparison of all available insurance products. B. They must be licensed and complete continuing education requirements. C. They must offer coverage for all potential perils affecting a property. D. They must underwrite all applications personally before submitting them to the insurer. Answer: B. They must be licensed and complete continuing education requirements. Explanation: Rhode Island law requires that all insurance agents be properly licensed to sell insurance products, including homeowners insurance. Additionally, agents must fulfill continuing education requirements to maintain their licenses, ensuring they remain knowledgeable about current laws, regulations, and industry practices. Option A is not a requirement. Agents may provide information but are not mandated to compare all products. Option C is misleading, as agents are not required to offer coverage for every conceivable peril but must provide options that are suitable for the client. Option D is incorrect, as agents typically do not underwrite policies, and this is the responsibility of the insurer. Question 7. Problem-solving skills. If a homeowner estimates the value of their personal property at $100,000 and has a standard homeowner's policy with a coverage limit of $80,000 for personal property, which of the following is the best action for the homeowner to take to ensure full coverage? A. Increase the deductible on the policy to lower premiums. B. Purchase a scheduled personal property endorsement for the excess value. C. Add a rider for high value items only. D. Request an increase in personal property coverage limit. Answer: D. Request an increase in personal property coverage limit. Explanation: to ensure that the homeowner's personal property is fully covered, the most effective action is to request an increase in the personal property coverage limit to match or exceed the estimated value of $100,000. This is critical because having coverage limits lower than the actual value of belongings can lead to significant out-of-pocket losses in the event of a claim. Option A may reduce premiums but would not address the coverage shortfall. Option B is unnecessary if the limit can be increased directly, and option C only addresses high value items without improving overall coverage. Question 8. Policy exclusions and limitations. Which of the following perils would typically not be covered under a standard homeowner's insurance policy? A. Theft of personal property. B. Water damage from a burst pipe. C. Earthquake damage. D. Fire damage. Answer: C. Earthquake damage. Explanation: standard homeowners insurance policies generally exclude certain perils, including earthquake damage. Homeowners must purchase separate earthquake coverage or an endorsement to protect against this specific risk. Option A, theft. B, water damage from a burst pipe. And D, fire damage are typically covered perils in a standard homeowners policy, assuming the damage results from an insured event. Question 9. Critical thinking abilities. During a policy review, an agent discovers that a homeowner has significant renovations planned that will increase the value of their home. What should the agent advise the homeowner regarding their current homeowner's insurance policy? A. No action is needed unless the renovations exceed 25% of the home's value. B. The policy should be reviewed to ensure it reflects the new replacement cost of the home after renovations. C. The homeowner should cancel their policy and shop for a new one once renovations are complete. D. The agent should advise the homeowner to maintain their current coverage limit to avoid increased premiums. Answer: B. The policy should be reviewed to ensure it reflects the new replacement cost of the home after renovations. Explanation: when significant renovations are planned that will increase a home's value, it's essential for the homeowner to review their insurance policy. The agent should advise the homeowner to ensure that their coverage reflects the increased replacement cost. Failure to do so could lead to insufficient coverage in the event of a loss. Option A incorrectly suggests that no action is needed based solely on a percentage threshold. Option C is unnecessary and impractical. Maintaining continuity of coverage is important. Option D is misleading because adequate coverage should not be sacrificed for the sake of low premiums. Question 10. Emerging trends and issues. With climate change impacting weather patterns, what is one of the primary concerns for homeowners regarding their insurance coverage? A. Increased availability of flood insurance policies. B. The need for broader coverage limits on all standard homeowners policies. C. Rising premiums and the potential for coverage denials due to environmental risks. D. The elimination of exclusions related to natural disasters. Answer: C. Rising premiums and the potential for coverage denials due to environmental risks. Explanation: climate change has resulted in increased frequency and severity of weather-related events, which can lead to rising insurance premiums as insurers adjust rates to account for heightened risks. Additionally, insurers may become more stringent with their underwriting processes, potentially leading to coverage denials for properties deemed too high risk due to environmental factors. Option A is misleading, as while awareness is increasing, availability may not be keeping pace with demand. Option B suggests a blanket approach to coverage limits, which is not universally applicable. Option D inaccurately implies that exclusions will be removed without considering the associated risks. Question 11. Fundamental concepts of home insurance. In a homeowner's insurance policy, what is the primary purpose of the declarations page? A. To outline the exclusions and limitations of the policy. B. To provide a summary of the coverage amounts and premiums. C. To detail the specific claims process and procedures. D. To describe the rights and responsibilities of the insurer. Answer: B. To provide a summary of the coverage amounts and premiums. Explanation: the declarations page is a critical component of a homeowner's insurance policy, summarizing essential information including the coverage amounts, policyholder's name, property address, and premiums. It serves as the first page of the policy, giving a snapshot of the coverage provided. Option A refers to the policy provisions but is not the primary focus of the declarations. Option C relates to the policy's conditions but is not summarized on the declarations page. Option D covers the responsibilities of the insurer but is typically found in the policy's body rather than the declarations. Question 12. Coverage types. Which of the following statements accurately describes the coverage for other structures under a standard homeowner's policy? A. It covers only structures that are attached to the main dwelling. B. It includes coverage for structures on the property not attached to the dwelling, such as fences and sheds. C. It does not provide coverage for any structures unless they are explicitly listed in the policy. D. It only applies to structures that are used for business purposes. Answer: B. It includes coverage for structures on the property not attached to the dwelling, such as fences and sheds. Explanation: other structures coverage in a homeowner's policy is designed to protect structures that are not attached to the main dwelling, such as detached garages, fences, and sheds. This coverage typically amounts to a percentage of the dwelling coverage limit. Option A is incorrect because it does not include unattached structures. Option C misrepresents the nature of the coverage, as these structures are automatically covered unless excluded. Option D is also incorrect, as business-related structures are generally covered under different policies or endorsements. Question 13. Policy exclusions and limitations. Which type of damage is typically excluded from homeowners' insurance policies and requires separate coverage? A. Damage from fire or smoke. B. Theft of personal property. C. Damage caused by flooding. D. Vandalism to the property. Answer: C. Damage caused by flooding. Explanation: flood damage is a standard exclusion in most homeowners' insurance policies, requiring homeowners to purchase separate flood insurance through the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, or private insurers. Options A, B, and D represent covered perils in standard policies provided they meet specific conditions and limits. Question 14. Practical applications. A homeowner is filing a claim for damages resulting from a storm that caused a tree to fall on their home. What is the first step the homeowner should take in the claims process? A. Immediately start repairs to prevent further damage. B. Contact their insurance agent to report the claim. C. Take photographs of the damage for documentation. D. Obtain estimates from contractors for the repairs. Answer: B. Contact their insurance agent to report the claim. Explanation. The first step in the claims process is to contact the insurance agent to report the claim officially. This step initiates the claims process and allows the insurer to provide guidance on how to proceed. While taking photographs, option C, is important for documentation, it should be done after reporting the claim. Starting repairs, option A, is not advisable until the insurer has been notified and has had a chance to assess the damage. Obtaining estimates, option D, may be part of the process, but the claim must be reported first. Question 15. Regulatory environment. What authority regulates the approval of insurance rates for homeowners insurance in Rhode Island? A. The National Association of Insurance Commissioners, NAIC. B. The Rhode Island Department of Business Regulation, DBR. C. The Federal Insurance Office, FIO. D. The Rhode Island Attorney General's Office. Answer. B. The Rhode Island Department of Business Regulation, DER. Explanation. The Rhode Island Department of Business Regulation is responsible for overseeing insurance companies and ensuring that rates are justifiable and comply with state regulations. The NAIC, option A, provides a framework for state regulation but does not have direct authority over rate approval. The FIO, option C, monitors the insurance industry but does not regulate rates at the state level. The Attorney General's Office, option D, may be involved in consumer protection but does not handle insurance rate approvals. Question 16. Theoretical knowledge. Which of the following factors is least likely to influence the premium amount for a homeowner's insurance policy? A. The age of the home and its construction materials. B. The homeowner's credit history. C. The distance from a fire station. D. The homeowner's marital status. Answer. D. The homeowner's marital status. Explanation. While various factors affect homeowners' insurance premiums, the homeowner's marital status is typically not a significant factor considered by insurers. Factors such as the age of the home, option A, the homeowner's credit history, option B, and the distance from a fire station, option C, are critical in determining risk levels and consequently influence premiums. Question 17. Problem-solving skills. A homeowner wants to calculate the estimated cost to replace their home after recent appraisal. If the appraisal estimates the replacement cost to be $350,000 and they want to insure 80% coverage, what should their dwelling coverage limit be? A. $250,000. B. $280,000. C. $300,000. D. $350,000. Answer. B. $280,000. Explanation. To calculate the necessary coverage limit for 80% coverage of the replacement cost, use the formula coverage equals $350,000 x 0.A equals $280,000. This calculation ensures that the homeowner meets the standard requirements for full replacement coverage in the event of a total loss. Question 18. Critical thinking abilities. A homeowner discovers that their basement was flooded due to a broken pipe, which is a covered peril under their policy. However, they had previously not disclosed renovations made to the basement that increased its value. What might the insurer consider when processing this claim? A. Whether the renovations were inspected and approved by the local building department. B. The homeowner's intent in not disclosing the renovations. C. The overall condition of the basement prior to the flood. D. The amount of personal property stored in the basement. Answer. B. The homeowner's intent in not disclosing the renovations. Explanation. The insurer will evaluate the homeowner's intent in failing to disclose significant renovations that could affect the claim amount. If the renovations substantially increased the value of the property, the insurer may argue that the homeowner's omission constitutes a misrepresentation. Option A pertains to local building codes but does not directly impact the claim. Option C is less relevant than the specifics of disclosure. Option D is a factor but secondary to the implications of not disclosing significant renovations. Question 19. Emerging trends and issues. How might the increase in remote work due to changing job landscapes influence homeowners' insurance policies? A. It will likely lead to more comprehensive coverage for home offices. B. It will result in low premiums for all homeowners. C. It will make standard homeowners insurance less relevant. D. It will increase demand for renters insurance. Answer A. It will likely lead to more comprehensive coverage for home offices. Explanation. As remote work becomes more prevalent, many homeowners are setting up home offices and may require additional coverage for business equipment and liability. Insurers may respond by offering endorsements to standard policies or separate business policies that cover these specific needs. Option B is misleading as premiums may not necessarily decrease, they could increase based on additional risk factors. Option C suggests a decrease in relevance, which is inaccurate as coverage will adapt rather than diminish. Option D pertains to renters insurance, which does not directly relate to homeowners policies. Question 20. Industry standards and best practices. Which best practice should homeowners follow to mitigate risks and potentially lower their insurance premiums? A. Avoid maintaining any documentation related to the condition of their property. B. Neglect regular maintenance and repairs to save costs. C. Install safety features such as smoke detectors and security systems. D. Increase coverage limits to protect against all potential losses. Answer C. Install safety features such as smoke detectors and security systems. Explanation: installing safety features like smoke detectors, security systems, and fire extinguishers can significantly reduce risks and consequently lower insurance premiums. Insurance companies often provide discounts for homes equipped with such safety measures. Options A and B could lead to increased risk and higher premiums due to potential claims. Option D may result in unnecessary coverage costs without effectively mitigating risk. Question 20 on coverage limits. In a homeowner's insurance policy, what is the typical percentage of personal property coverage in relation to the dwelling coverage limit? A. 25%, B. 50%, C. 75%, D. 100%. Answer A. 25%. Explanation: most homeowners insurance policies automatically include personal property coverage at about 25% of the dwelling coverage limit. For example, if the dwelling coverage is $200,000, personal property coverage would typically be $50,000. This percentage may vary by insurer, but 25% is a common standard. Options B, C, and D exceed typical limits for personal property coverage. Question 22. Liability coverage. Which type of liability coverage is included in a standard homeowner's insurance policy? A. Personal injury protection. B. Professional liability coverage. C. Premises liability coverage. D. Product liability coverage. Answer C. Premises liability coverage. Explanation: premises liability coverage is part of standard homeowners insurance, protecting against claims arising from injuries or damages that occur on the insured property. Personal injury protection, option A, is not typically included in homeowners policies, but may be found in auto insurance. Professional liability coverage, option B, pertains to professionals and is not covered in homeowners policies. Product liability, option D, relates to businesses and is also not covered. Question 23. Policy endorsements. What is the purpose of an endorsement in a homeowner's insurance policy? A. To provide additional coverage or modify existing coverage. B. To reduce the premium amount automatically. C. To exclude certain perils from coverage. D. To extend the policy period. Answer A. To provide additional coverage or modify existing coverage. Explanation: an endorsement is used to add or modify coverage in a homeowner's insurance policy. It can provide additional coverage for specific items or risks that are not covered under the standard policy. Option B is incorrect, as endorsements often increase premiums. Option C refers to exclusions, not endorsements. Option D is not accurate. Endorsements do not typically extend the policy period. Question 24. Claims process. When an insurance claim is filed, what is the insurer's primary responsibility? A. To provide immediate cash settlement to the policyholder. B. To investigate the claim and determine the validity and coverage. C. To deny any claims that exceed the policy limits. D. To recommend a contractor for repairs. Answer B. To investigate the claim and determine the validity and coverage. Explanation: upon receiving a claim, the insurer must conduct an investigation to assess the validity of the claim, ensure it falls within the policy's coverage limits, and determine how much, if any, compensation is warranted. Option A is incorrect, as the insurer must verify the claim before settling. Option C is misleading, and claims may not be denied solely for exceeding limits without valid reasons. Option D is not a primary responsibility. While insurers may provide recommendations, they are not obligated to do so. Question 25. Replacement cost versus actual cash value. What is the primary difference between replacement cost and actual cash value (SCV) in homeowners insurance? A. Replacement cost accounts for depreciation while a CV does not. B. Replacement cost provides coverage for new items while a CV pays the depreciated value. C. A CV is only applicable to personal property, while replacement cost applies to structures. D. There is no difference. Both terms mean the same thing. Answer: B. Replacement cost provides coverage for new items while a CV pays the depreciated value. Explanation: replacement cost coverage pays for the cost to replace damaged property with new items of like kind and quality without deducting for depreciation. In contrast, actual cash value, a CV coverage accounts for depreciation, resulting in a lower payout. Option A is incorrect as it misstates the definitions. Option C incorrectly limits the application of a CV. Option D is incorrect as the two terms represent different concepts. Question 26. Coverage exclusions. Which of the following events is most likely to be excluded under a standard homeowner's insurance policy? A. Damage from a falling tree during a storm. B. Damage caused by termites. C. Fire damage from a fireplace. D. Theft of personal property. Answer: B. Damage caused by termites. Explanation: damage caused by pests, such as termites, is typically excluded from standard homeowners insurance policies under a category of maintenance issues. Options A and C are usually covered perils. Option D is covered as long as it meets the policy conditions. Question 27. Underinsurance risk. What is the risk of being underinsured in a homeowner's insurance policy? A. High premiums for the policyholder. B. Inability to recover full replacement costs in the event of a total loss. C. Automatic denial of claims by the insurer. D. Ineligible for discounts on premiums. Answer: B. Inability to recover full replacement costs in the event of a total loss. Explanation: being underinsured means that the policy limits are insufficient to cover the full replacement cost of the home or personal property in the event of a total loss. This can result in significant out-of-pocket expenses for the policyholder. Option A may not be true, as lower coverage limits can lead to lower premiums. Option C is incorrect. Claims are not automatically denied, but may be paid at the lower limit. Option D is irrelevant, as discounts are based on different criteria. Question 28. Risk management strategies. What is the primary purpose of a home inventory for homeowners? A. To determine the amount of insurance needed for coverage. B. To assist in the claims process after a loss. C. To compare different insurance policies. D. To reduce premiums by identifying unnecessary coverage. Answer: B. To assist in the claims process after loss. Explanation: a home inventory provides a detailed record of personal property, which can be crucial in the claims process following a loss. It helps the policyholder document items, their values and conditions, making it easier to substantiate claims. Option A is partially correct, but not the primary purpose. Option C is misleading, as inventory is not typically used for policy comparisons. Option D may not apply, as the inventory is more about documentation than premium reduction. Question 29. Endorsement types. Which endorsement would a homeowner consider if they want to increase their personal property coverage to include high-value items? A. Identity theft protection endorsement. B. Scheduled personal property endorsement. C. Water damage endorsement. D. Personal liability endorsement. Answer: B. Scheduled personal property endorsement. Explanation: a scheduled personal property endorsement is specifically designed to provide additional coverage for high-value items, such as jewelry, art, or collectibles. This endorsement allows homeowners to insure these items for their appraised value beyond standard limits. Option A relates to identity theft. Option C is unrelated to personal property, and Option D pertains to liability coverage. Question 30. Understanding deductibles. How does a deductible work in a homeowner's insurance policy? A. It is the amount the insurer pays before coverage kicks in. B. It is the portion the homeowner must pay out of pocket before the insurer covers the remaining costs. C. It is a fee charged by the insurer for issuing the policy. D. It is a tax that homeowners must pay on their insurance premiums. Answer: B. It is the portion the homeowner must pay out of pocket before the insurer covers the remaining costs. Explanation: the deductible is the amount the policyholder must pay out of pocket for covered losses before the insurer will pay the remaining costs. For example, if a homeowner has a $1,000 deductible and files a claim for $5,000 in damages, the insurer will pay $4,000. Option A is incorrect, as the deductible is not the amount the insurer pays, rather it is subtracted from the claim payout. Options C and D do not accurately represent the concept of deductibles in insurance.